Okay, and so one more thing that I had to kind of really comment on with The Housemaid that I feel like was done so well and so purposely is really not making you hate. Well, Millie, I had my reasons for not liking her. Um, just because I'm realizing a pattern with myself is I tend to not enjoy characters who are not entirely self-aware and aren't entirely and have not identities, but like issues with their body. I don't know, that's or not their body, but just issues with themselves. Um it's very uncomfortable to have those two character traits kind of like there. I don't know. It just makes the character unlikable for me. So that's what I'm learning about myself. But I feel like a lot of authors nowadays, it's very hard for them to make characters that not aren't perfect. You know what I'm saying? Characters are not supposed to be perfect. They're supposed to be human. And I feel like I don't think you should write like an entirely unlikable character, but I think that you should write a character that people, when you're reading their perspective, you're like, wow, like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, babes. Like, I think the author should be so good at the human experience that every single time they shift perspectives, you're like, wow, babes. Like, you start growing empathy for all of the characters that you're interacting with and that you're reading with, right? And I just feel like a lot of the popular books in the last year or two, I feel like the authors haven't really mastered that craft of really knowing their characters and knowing how to get their readers to have empathy for their characters. And also, we don't need perfect characters, right? We can all agree we don't need characters. We need flawed characters. We need characters like, yes, they're not entirely villains, but even after they learn their lesson and they evolve, that there's still so much more for them to work on because they're humans, right? And so I think as an author, what you're really exploring is human nature. Every single time you read, and write, you're really learning bits of how to portray human nature and how, because I feel like as an author, you're a communicator, you're a storyteller, but also you're a healer. And so, yeah, that's just my general thoughts.